Hello, I'm a little bit early. But since Ziddick raided and I'm just sat here doing nothing, I may as well start. How are we doing? How was the stream, Ziddick? What did you get up to today? Mandolin, hello, Guitarlin, Squizzed, Wolfie. How are we all doing? I hope you're all good. We're back with, well, more Monifactory. I did start 72 Mark III fusion reaction casings crafting about 5 minutes before the stream. So these are going to take a little while to go through. Is it yet again dumped you here? You can can't catch a fucking break. I know, right? It's how rude of him. I was good. Stripped a bit more of the trial chamber and got some of the roof done on your orb temple. Nice. I was lurking a little bit. I did see quite a lot of copper. I'm assuming that's where the trial chambers are where you were getting all that from. Right, this isn't running at all at the minute, is it? No. Right, so we did get the, just before the end of the stream yesterday, we did get the 8 UV field generators that we needed to stabilize our microminer. That was one of the first things we wanted to do. We wanted to stabilize this microminer so we could start sending this out for more Hadal shards. Because that is something, if we can start getting this mission done today, that would be great. But yeah, in order to stabilize this, we needed the Heart of the Universe, which we got yesterday, the 2 Hadar shards, and we just need 14 dense iridium plates, and a bunch of other stuff, and then we can, and then we should be able to just request this now. Because I did set up a recipe for it. I'll need to remove this recipe afterwards. Yeah, everything except the liquid neutronium is available. It'll be our goods. But yeah, if you guys are not already following Ziddick, I don't know if there was anyone here before we started. Ziddick literally arrived as we started. But if you were here and not already following Ziddick, go and fix that now. He's awesome. He streams before me in the mornings. So if you're awake, you have no excuse not to be there. Right. I don't know how long that takes, actually. But yeah, these UV field generators took so long to craft. And mostly it's because of the tritanium and the naquadratrinium europium duranide. We need to get... I'm tempted to start passively crafting this, but it's going to be a bit of a pain. I am wondering, though, if it's any... Because one of the things that's... Oh, wait a minute. Oh, hold on. Okay. This might actually be considerably quicker to do in the alloy blast smelter. This may actually be quicker to do in the alloy blast smelter. I think we're running those. Are we running them at UV or UHV? I think UV. We don't have... The only problem with this is we don't have tritanium coils in this at the moment. And I think we need tritanium coils. We are running them at UV. We could easily run those at UHV. Because cooling of the fluid... Like, because that makes the fluid directly... And cooling the fluid is actually considerably quicker. Since the fluid only needs to be cooled at MV, since we can overclock that to UV.
Running away, you yellow bastard!
I would need to upgrade the coils, though. All right, no worries, Eddie. Thank you for the raid. Enjoy the lurk. I do appreciate it. This This might be worth doing. It is 301 seconds to do... 301 seconds. If we ran it at UHV, it would only be 37 seconds for 10 ingots. Plus, oh yeah, that's considerably quicker. We'd need to upgrade the coils though. Plus, we can also, maybe we change what we do to we're working on today. Maybe we start on the Mega Alloy Blast Smelter instead. That, I think, is probably the way to go. The only thing is, if we do this, we need, where are they? 140 titanium coils. Although, that being said, if we get the Omnic Forge done, we have got the Omnic Matrix coils as well, which might be quicker. Oh, now I don't know what to do. The Omnic Matrix course probably won't be quicker overall because... But we're going to need to make those anyway. Right, so, okay, so say we wanted to upgrade both the Rotary Hearth Furnace and the Mega Alloy Blast Smelter. I think that actually needs to be what we do. Next is actually get this up and running because this stuff, the Naquitatrinium Europium Duranide, takes so long to craft at the moment. It takes like to make one ingot, to cool one ingot, a UV, it takes 10 seconds per ingot. And then to craft it takes 5 seconds. So you're looking at 15 seconds per ingot. And we need a lot of ingots. Compared to, with the Mega Alloy Blast Smelter, it would take, if we run it at the same speed, i.e. UHV, assuming we're using argon to speed it up, it'd take 37.65 seconds to make 10 ingots, and then each ingot could be cooled, if we run that at UV as well, in 0.85 seconds. So you're looking at about 4 seconds per ingot for that. But we need at least titanium coils. And at the minute, one of the other things slowing us down is titanium. That's one of the things we're trying to speed up at the moment. Oh, I've just noticed something. That's not running. Why are you not running? Unless it was just incredibly slow. Nope, 6 seconds. Why are you not running? You should have UHV. Right, where did you go? In here. Okay, so you should have UHV power. Yeah, you're running at UHV. So you have... Oh. Oh, hell. It's done the same thing again. This is what keeps happening, and I still have yet to find a way around this. Basically, the way the assembly lines work is... I'm guessing there's going to be... Yeah, that's locked as well. The way the assembly lines work is you put one item into each of these ULV input buses. If anything else goes into those input buses at all, it doesn't see the recipe as valid. Therefore, the recipe won't run. So if you have more than one pattern provider's worth of items in there, it won't work. Because what's happened here is it's tried to put in the recipe for this, but since something else has tried to craft from this pattern provider, it's tried to put both things in there. This one, we can lock each of the individual pattern providers with the lock until primary crafting result is returned. But if it tries to craft one thing from each of them, I've not found a way around locking that yet. I've not found a way around it. So up to there, everything past this point needs to come out. Except, wait, no, some of this stuff... Yeah, that's what I would like. Something like that. Where if it like, where you could send it, say, to a lot, like you could kind of like link providers. Right, those are all definitely for this. That's not. That is, and that is. Right, so if I put these into here. There is a way I think of that I might be able to get it to work. Wait, am I missing something from those? No, I think it's just because I'm guessing it's because we've got the other flu. Oh no, that's in there as well. Did that sort it? No. But yeah, we keep coming. I've got to find a solution for this because these things are so awkward to have working properly. Right, so that's there, that's there, that's there, that's there, that's there. Okay, so I guess we're missing. I guess it's because we've got additional fluids in there at the moment then. So the rocket fuel, the omnium, and the neutronium goes in there. We don't need the soldering alloy. The only thing I can think, and I don't know if this will work or not. Wait, hold on. Might need more of those. Oh no, we don't. No, that's still not working. We've got that in there. We've got the Heart of the Universe. We've got the Hadal shards. We've got the 14 iridium plates. I do not squiz, no. We don't need research for this. There's nothing in any of these other ones. Oh, wait, we've got... Lubricant's gone in there now as well. Nope, that's not right either. I didn't think the fluids would affect it. Oh, now, what the shit is all I can say to this now. Like, why? Try turning it off and on again. Well, the thing is, though, we can't go down to one pattern provider because we need pretty much all of the items in here. There's a couple we can take out. Like, we probably won't need another research station or object holder. But the majority of these, we need all of them for various things. I wonder what else this tried to craft then. And I wonder if it's just, if we put things down at the other end, it'll work. Because I think it matters where things go as well. Pan pits, it's the problem. I'll explain the problem in a minute once we get this fixed. But it's, in my opinion, it's a problem with the way the assembly line is made. Like, why are you not working right? You should have everything you need in there. You have UHV power. You have the crystal matrix You have the Leviathan Slayer. You have your Heart of the Universe. You have your 2 Hadal Shards. You have 2 lots of 7 Iridium Plates. You have 8 UV Field Generators. Ah. That's the problem. Yes, the right fluid. The problem we're having is that we haven't got enough space in here for rocket fuel. In these 48 buckets, we can only fit 32 in here. Sorry, 40.8. Are there any larger quad hatches? IV quad hatches. Okay. So at the minute we've only got the EV. There's none of this solves the overall problem though. There is, and that's what we're using, Estu. That's what we're using. Like, lock until primary result is returned, but that only locks this one. If this locks, but then this tries to craft one of these recipes, this isn't locked. The only reason this is locked at the moment is because it tried to craft something else. I'm not actually entirely sure what it did try to craft based on all this. Yeah, Prime Result and Redstone are mutually... Well, they're mutually exclusive. The only thing I can think is if it puts all the items in at the same time, which I'm pretty sure it does, we can get it to... We can possibly find a way... We'd have to move these down, I think, but we could possibly have a way of... Because this is on a sub-network, it wouldn't be so bad doing this, but we could use toggle buses. And then we could, when there's an item, there's an item in any of these, basically, it will use the toggle bus. It will toggle it off so nothing else can get pushed in. But then that would change as soon as the item. But I guess once the craft starts, it doesn't matter if something else goes in there or not. I'll explain it in a moment, Squiz. We need to get this fixed first. Right, so that is... Where's that going? That is going... That's just a regular crafting recipe. Then the quad tungsten steel things. Of course we don't have tungsten steel. Oh, I think I might already have niobium titanium small cables. I'm just trying not to have to make any more bloody recipes than I have to at the minute. Not that it makes a difference, I'm just lazy. Yeah, I've already got those. Plus this will kind of future-proof a little bit as well if there's anything that needs more than 64 buckets in there, which is very possible. And these are all both just crafting recipes, right? Yeah. Yeah, it's a very, very awkward machine to automate. You know what? I'll tell you what I do miss. Actually, Additions lasers, they were so good for this. Actually, Additions lasers were perfect for this. Although, that being said, even those wouldn't have made this any better, I don't think. Basically, you didn't need to do the whole sub-network thing for it. Actually, no, they would have been, they wouldn't have been any better. No, they didn't need this whole sub-network thing. You would just have basically one laser on there and then a laser on each of the inputs, and they would automatically distribute to them. But that still wouldn't have solved this problem, unfortunately. Oh, fuck off. I need more universal cells. Oh, and of course I can't put fucking neutronium in there, can I? Heaven forbid. This is so awkward. Now I don't know what's where. Right, that's all the fluids for this. I'm hoping... Oh, no, they're gonna have to wait forever for this. If this just wasn't such a pain... I mean, we still wouldn't have been able to do this craft anyway, but... If this wasn't just such a pain in the ass to craft... Like, it's so frustrating. Or even if you could... redstone control ME interfaces. That would work as well. The armor I'm wearing, that's the Quarktex armor from GregTech. Yeah, we're going to have to wait forever for this as well, because there's going to be stuff going through from here. Again, the enriched naquita trinium europium duranide. We're going to have to solve that problem today. It's probably the best armor. Given that we're playing in peaceful, it doesn't matter. I was mostly using it for the fact that it allows us to go to other planets without having to worry about things like oxygen and overheating and freezing, stuff like that. But yeah, we're backing up massively on hot ingots right now. Because uranium rhodium dinaquidide takes 10 seconds. I'm going to switch a lot of this over to alloy blast smelters once I can. What are you talking about? What are you... I have no idea what you're talking about, mate. UV4x parallel and only UV. What? It's a 64 times parallel, but that doesn't make a blind bit of difference with this, because even if we ran this at UHV, while it's doing the rhodium, the duranide stuff, it's still only going to do, it'll do 4 at a time, and the reason we're not running it at UHV is because power is still not limitless. We do have a little bit extra power that we probably could put into it, but given that I'd already started that, it's a little bit late now because I don't want to end up losing stuff from it. But this is part of what we're planning on fixing today, is this situation. But unfortunately, it doesn't get fixed just by thinking about fixing it. The freezer stuff, the problem with the freezer stuff is it's not going to matter soon because we're switching the way we do this. We're going to be doing it with the alloy blast smelter rather than this, because it will go down from around about 15 seconds per ingot, including the time it takes to actually smelt the ingot in the rotary hearth furnace, down to about 3.5, 4 seconds or so with the alloy blast smelter. But the reason we can't use the alloy blast smelter at the moment is because we need at least titanium coils. And the only titanium coils we have are currently on the rotary hearth furnace. And there's not much point in making titanium coils for the mega alloy blast smelter at the moment, because it takes 130 of them. Titanium takes forever to craft, and we should be making the Omnic forge today, which means that we can then make the omnium coils, and we may as well just go straight to those. Yeah, the mega alloy blast smelter does everything in fluids. So if we look at this stuff, the enriched aqua tritium europium duranide, if we say we run this at UHV, which is the same power level we'd be running the electric blast, the EBF at, it takes 37.65 seconds to produce 10 ingots. So 3.765 seconds per ingot. And then it only uses MV power to cool one ingot in 55 seconds. So if we run that at UV as well, 0.85 seconds to cool rather than 10 seconds. So you're looking at, you're looking at about 4 to 5 seconds per ingot, down from 15 seconds. Its overall is just going to be slightly faster. Plus, it will mean that these don't have this issue where hot ingots just back up. It'll have its own dedicated freezer, yeah. That's the way my ABSs work at the moment, is they've just got a... do I not have a thing over there anymore? Oh, apparently not. They have a dedicated vacuum freezer. Which all of this, we could upgrade all of that, but there's not much point if we're just going to make the mega alloy blast smelter. We're working towards the mega alloy blast smelter. The problem with the mega alloy blast smelter is even once we make it, we still need to make the titanium coils. Or at least the coils for it. And the problem with that is... So we're going to have to deal with this issue for a little bit longer. But the problem with the mega alloy blast smelter is it takes 140 coils. The titanium coils take basically 8 titanium ingots per coil. One titanium ingot is 144 millibuckets. 144 millibuckets is, what, 9 of these recipes? Yeah, so 9 of these recipes. Which they're running at 1.6 seconds at the minute, I believe. So that's 14.4 seconds per ingot. Times that by 140, times by 8. 16,128 seconds. Or 268 minutes, or nearly 5 hours to craft the tritanium for that. One of the things we are setting up at the moment, although it is taking its time, is we are setting up, or we're switching over our current fusion reactors to doing the request crafting stuff to Mark 3s, and then we're changing the Mark 2 ones that we have to passive tritanium. What I need to do at the moment, though, is find... Oh, man, that shouldn't be in there. What are we waiting on for this? The rhodium-plated aluminum palladium. We need to find that, and we need to get that going through. And cooling. It's not even in there. Where the hell is it? Wait, where the fucking hell is it? Oh, there it is. If we put that at the top, will you pick that next? No, it's not quick at all. The smelter's not the problem. It's the cooling. That's the issue. And the other thing is, we can't really do much else while we're doing this, because we need these. We need kind of like to have everything running. Like, we need to use these in order to actually get the things from them. If that makes sense. That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Has that finally done it? There we go. Finally. All right. At least we can get this sorted. Maybe inside what? I don't really understand what you mean by that. Maybe say don't put anything inside if a matching recipe that way too does stuff in. How would you, I don't understand what you mean by that, or how that would even work. I thought I broke something else there, actually. I did not. Okay, right, let's see. So, we put you back in there, you back in there, you and you back in there. Then you'll start working. Perfect. I'm not using a PAM provider for it. There we go. We've got our stabilized microminer at least. Now, the next problem is, I don't know what the fuck was being crafted in here, but whatever it was, I'm pretty sure stuff's missing for it. Because there's nothing that will craft with just these. I'm assuming there's a motor gone missing somewhere. Yeah, I'm just outputting the hot ingots directly to there from the ME system. I didn't bother doing it as a crafting recipe. They didn't seem any point. It just locks up a crafting CPU for absolutely no reason. Well, no, it's not going to work now. No, something's still locking this, and I'm not sure what it was, because what's this like is won't make up anything except one of the motors. So maybe that's what it was. Yeah, there was. Okay. I mean, emptying it's not the problem. The problem is we still need everything to go through there. Like, problems arise like this, and we are working on solutions to them, but solutions do not happen instantly. Just because we've thought of a solution for something does not mean that that solution is just instantly going to have happened. It's not how it works. You need to actually go through and implement that solution. And if the problem that's been caused by this is we need the things that's causing the problem to fix the problem, there's not a lot we can do about it. We just have to wait until while things slowly go through until we can actually fix the problem. You cannot just figure out every problem instantly. Unfortunately, does not work that way. Oh, that's gone through the stuff that was in there, though. Although there is still another 49 in there. So we're going to have to block both of these up again because that needs to be done. So we can get the fusion coils, the fusion reactor casings done. And then the fusion reactor casings... Actually, we can probably work on the fusion glass for now as well. Actually, no, we don't even need to do... We do need to do the fusion glass, but we only need to do 31 of them, I think. I mean, we didn't need to. We did empty the assembly line, but the problem is the thing was still locked. So we need the other thing that tried to go through there at the same time. It was still locking the other thing, so we needed to make sure that went through to unlock the rest of the other thing, because the other thing that was crafting in here was clearly needed for something as well. So we needed to make sure that got crafted. But now we've still got to figure out this issue of how we actually utilize this and how we stop this crafting when this is crafting something. I don't know how we can reliably do that. I don't think it's possible. The only other thing I can think of is make 3 more assembly lines and have one set of pattern providers for one lot of 3 assembly lines and one set of pattern providers for the other 3. I did not squiz, but it doesn't surprise me. People can do some crazy shit with Minecraft. Ah, so nice to see. 32,000 Omnium. Right, what are we waiting on? We're just waiting on the Enrich and Aqueduct. Oh god, I've just realized we're gonna have to make more of that as well, aren't we? Because we've only got 1 of our 2 fusion reactors crafted at the moment. How much is that gonna need? I think we're just gonna have to do a couple more UV energy hatches and upgrade the things for now. I think that's our only best kind of possible solution right now to speeding these up, is to just speed them up. It's not my preferred way of doing this, but any other options will mean that we slow a whole bunch of other things down as well, so... Oh, even to fix that problem, we wouldn't need to break the pattern provider. We just toggle the thing, but we still needed the output from it regardless. But yeah, it's this stuff. The Naquadur Trinium Europium Duranide ingots. Like, we don't want to put in we don't really want to make a full-scale solution to this at the moment, because if we're going to be making if we're going to be working towards the alloy blast smelter, which is then going to fix this problem, we don't want to spend a whole bunch of time and resources fixing a problem that we're then going to go ahead and fix again later. It just seems pointless, especially given that there's not too much we can do that will really save us a huge amount of time when it comes to that. Running these at UHV with a parallel hatch should do 4 of them in the same time it takes to do 1, which will quarter the time, which is definitely a huge improvement. Oh, just 2 more fusion machine casings to go, and we're waiting on samarium, which will need to be cooled as well. Never mind. Fusion casings are done. Beautiful. And we do just need one more Mark III fusion reactor. We'll do that in a moment, though. Wait, did I... Oh, what? This is the first time we've opened the quest book today, apparently. There we go. Where are we? What did it still want? Oh, shit, yeah, we've still got to do the 16 UV energy hatches for this as well. Actually, we need to do 32 UV energy hatches. Which actually shouldn't take too long in all seriousness. No, the quest book curse still hasn't gone. It's still still a fucking mess. What are those making? Oh, the neutron reflectors. Okay. What, the quest book? No, the quest book's got nothing to do with shaders. That makes absolutely no difference whatsoever. Ah, this is why we need another assembler. So assembler's kind of getting caught up at the minute doing the neutron reflectors. Actually, I do need to upgrade this to UHV as well. How many of those are we actually making, and what are we even making them for? Oh, the glass. Okay. That's fine. What do the assemblers do? Without wanting to sound patronizing, assemble? They assemble the Avengers. No, they're basically just large crafting machines. That's pretty much what they do. Hey, JJ. How's it going? Would you hurry up and finish your neutron reflectors, please? I haven't got all day. It's on the last 4 now, though. There we go. Now it's doing the fusion glass. At least the fusion glass is pretty quick once it's finished. We don't actually need that just yet. All right. So once we've got those UV ones, we'll turn these off. These should be emptied now. I wonder if it's just going to be better to set up a couple of... Just temporarily set up a couple of these. But then they can't parallelize. So... I think it was Hideyoshi that said yesterday, these are the worst multi-blocks in the game. They definitely are not the best. Right, I need you to stop so I can turn you off. And then we're just going to put in you. Wait. Have I just cleared this? Oh, what the f... Please tell me I didn't just fuck that up. I did just fuck that up, didn't I? It's going to be one of those fucking days. Like, I was already in a bad mood before I started today. So I apologize if I am incredibly short-tempered. Where even am I right now? Not in the right side. Okay. I don't know how I managed to clear that. I wish there was a way you could, like, lock these and say, like, just make sure this stays as is. Like, do not change the channel on this at all. Right, that should hopefully speed things up a little bit. But the thing is, though, making sure it does stacks isn't always the way to go. Like, if you have to wait for a stack of something to come in before it actually outputs it, then you're going to be waiting even longer. And it's a bad multi-block because A, it's absolutely huge. And honestly, you would get better performance, I think. Like, most situations, you're not going to be doing stacks of things. You would probably get better performance having a brick of these, of the single block ones, because you can do multiple things at the same time. These can do a lot of individual recipes in parallel, but it will only do that same recipe in parallel. Like, if you've got a 16 times parallel hatch in there, and it's got 16 different items, it'll still do them all one at a time. Whereas if you had 16 of these in this same block space, it would do all 16 at the same time. Like, it's only good if you're doing stacks of them, which, like I say, in most situations, you're probably not going to be doing. Right, I want to see. If we make 32 of those, I want to see how long that's going to take to cool, because they should come into here. No, it's only, you see, it's only running 2 recipes in parallel. Or is that because there was only 2 in there at the time, I wonder? Yeah, I think there was only 2 in there at the time. The thing is, we requested 4, so where did the other 2 go? Oh, and also that's... Yeah, there we go. It is doing 4 in parallel. So it's doing 2.5 seconds each rather than... So it's actually not too... It shouldn't be too much better than if when we do the alloy blast smelter, but for now that will do for the time being. Right. I kind of need to wait for those to finish, though, before we start doing the fusion reactor, because it's going to need to craft more. That's not the right one. How many more is it going to need to craft? I probably skipped past it already. I do wish you could search the through here. Yeah, we've got to wait till that's finished. What do I want the Fusion Mark III? Because we can make neutronium if we need it, and I think there's a bunch of other things we can make with it as well. I can't remember off the top of my head. There was something we wanted it for. Yeah, but basically the ability to craft, to make anything that we need in there is basically what I needed. Einsteinium is one that we can do in the Mark III. We've got the microminer missions, but there's nothing to stop us from being able to make it in there as well if we need it. Osmium for basically free. Well, we could do that in Mark 1, though. What else can we do in the Mark III? I have a feeling there are some of the plasmas that we need that we can only do in the Mark III. I'm not sure, though, off the top of my head. But one of the reasons I wanted to make it was basically just to complete the quest line. That was pretty much it. I might turn off chat soon, by the way. I've had pretty much the whole of today with people telling me how I'm fucking wrong with what I'm doing. Anyway, we need to start working on the Omnic Forge soon. What do we actually need for neutronium? Americium and Naquita. Honestly, that wouldn't be that difficult to passive if we decided to. But to be fair, though, one of the other reasons I wanted to do this was also because I can then repurpose the Mark IIs in order to passive tritanium. But anyway, I'm going to stop looking at chat for now. I'm just going to get on with what I'm doing. So I do apologize if I don't see anything. What are we up to with this? And the uranium dinacridide is... How are we doing power-wise now? With both of those running. Yeah, we're using considerably more power now. Right, what do we need to start thinking about for the Omnic Forge? Oh, right, actually, before we do that, we need to redo all the recipes for the Tier 8 microminers. Which one was that? The Leviathan Slayer one. Which I think is just the Hadal shards, isn't it? Yeah, it's literally just the Hadal shards one. We just need to switch that out for the stabilized. Microminer. We should be able to start doing the other recipe for the Hadar shard soon as well. This one. But we do need the corrupted universe data. Which takes the layer of the Warden data, which... Actually, that's not too bad, is it? I need to get this redone as well. I think this is where a lot of our Cryolobus ended up going. Oh, no, it shouldn't have been. But we need to get that redone as well, but that's going to need another 8 UV field generators, which take forever because of the Duranide. Right, what are we actually waiting on in here? Wetware processors, and unsurprisingly, tritanium. Which unfortunately takes forever. What have we got those? We've only got ZPM energy hatches in there as well, so... What I don't understand, though, is this doesn't... If I put on... What I'm curious about is if I connect the rest of the energy hatches, will it then utilize all of them and actually run at a higher power level? Because it didn't seem to in All the Mods 9 when I did that. By putting all UV energy hatches in there, didn't seem to raise the like allow me to overclock it. So am I missing something about overclocking them? Overclocks double energy and half duration, but it never seems to overclock when I do it. Even if I have all energy hatches connected, it didn't seem to overclock. So this could technically run at UH... Well, I can accept UHV power, but it will only run recipes at the level that it's at, I guess. Anyway, we have a lot of these to wait for. Still 13.4 buckets of tritanium, but hopefully we shouldn't have to worry so much about the tritanium soon. Sodium, potassium. Why are we waiting on sodium, potassium, though? UV coils, samarium rods. What am I even doing the, where is my polarizer? I'm still doing it down here, aren't I? I really should actually improve the polarizer at some point as well. That's been like that for ages, but I've never noticed that being an issue at any point, so... That's never the thing that's slowing me down. Neuroprocessing units are going to take a little while. But that's fine. If I were to request another heart of a universe... Okay, I would need to make tritanium. I don't want to do anything that's going to utilize the fusion reactor till I've got it upgraded. And we're just going to have to go around and switch out all of the casings and the energy hatches. The joys of endgame, where half of it is waiting. I think most of the rest of this should be fine. The neutronium is going to be the crystal matrix frames as well are going to take a while on those. We only need to make enough to make the first one of these then. We shouldn't need to... And then we'll switch over all the recipes into the Omnic Forge itself. Also using the Universal Crystallizer. I can't remember what that's used for. That's something I'd like to make. I have a feeling this would solve our problems with the assembly line. So I'm assuming any assembly line recipes can be done in this. And I'm assuming that it just has one input bus and one input hatch. Or a pattern buffer, but pattern buffers only hold 27 recipes, so... I'm still waiting on titanium. Is there anything else we can complete while we're waiting? That's not gonna take ages. Things like these should be easy enough to do. We do still need to get all of the other bits and pieces finished for the quest lines. Although I have a feeling this is gonna... Nope, I was gonna say I have a feeling that's gonna get held up by stuff. Right, basic gas turbine generator. Basic steam turbine generator. I wonder if anyone's ever actually used these in outside of hard mode. Or even in hard mode. I don't know if they're even viable in that. Alright. We got that. And that. Okay. We can now make MV power. Fantastic. Actually, I don't even know how we make the RTGs. Oh, they're not too bad. By the looks of it, at least. 1,000 EU per tick. Wow. All right. I'm a little concerned why it stopped at 60. It's having 60 buckets of sodium potassium scheduled. That's kind of concerning. There we go. I'm just hoping we don't run into any issues with any of the any of these quests. Right, we need the large steam turbine itself, as well as 24 steel turbine casings. It seems really annoying having to make this stuff when we're never going to use it, but... Oh, especially when we haven't got blue steel or magnesium, blue steel frames or magnesium plates. I'm assuming this is circuit 6. I have a feeling I've run out of space for the circuit 4s. Oh no, not quite. Almost, but not quite. Am I going blind? Where the hell are they? I did just put that in there, right? What the hell did I just make? Steam turbine casing. Ah. Strange. I put it in there and it doesn't show up, but it's clearly there. Oh God. Don't crash on me. Oh, steel turbine casing. That's why I can't find the bloody thing. How many do I need again? 24. I'm going to need the magnesium plates as well. I haven't done those yet. Okay. We need 24 of those. We need a recipe for those. Should be able to request the rest of those things. What are we still waiting on for these? Still more titanium. There we go. There's the large steam turbine. Right, and we need, what's it, 24 of those as well, right? Did I read that right? Yeah, 24 of those. I'm actually going to take that one out since we don't actually need that anymore. All right, so we've gone through the titanium now. That sodium potassium is confusing me a little bit. Where would it be making that? LCR. One thing I do want to check. We didn't somehow managed to run out of power, did we? Nope. Okay, why has the sodium potassium stalled? Oh, because it's making new HPIC wafers. Okay, that's fine. Please tell me you haven't got too many of those to go. How many do you have to go? And why are you making them? Because it's not for that. What is it making those for? Oh, right. Just literally just because I set it to autocraft UHPIC wafers because they take forever. Yeah, we've got a few more of those to go. I kind of wish you could make it so those took less priority. So you could prioritize manually requested recipes rather than automated ones. Don't believe there's a way to do that. Because that, unfortunately, I've still got a few more of those to go. About another 24 of them. Can I shut that off for now? Or has it just... Is it just going to continue with that batch? How many did I do in each batch? I think I did it in batches of 8. I think. No, batches of 1. And those are in batches of 8. So... Why are you still going with the UHPIC wafers? It's still requesting them, even though they're turned off. Do I need to... Oh, the HPIC wafer's going as well. I think I'm going to put those in a different LCR. Just so they don't take up time with... when it could be spent doing other things. What do we actually need for those? The HPIC and UHPIC wafers. So, fluid input. So just a dual input should be fine. Just an LUV dual hatch should be fine for those. An output bus. have got a 4 amp ZPM energy hatch, which we are probably going to use for this. That doesn't need to go there. I need a maintenance hatch as well. Please tell me we can actually make a maintenance hatch. It's not going to cause any problems. Good. Hey, Life. And hey, Wally as well. Do those need a circuit? Oh, hang on, that needs to be on blocking mode, doesn't it? Those need a circuit? Ah, fuck, they need clean room though. Well, at least we've gone through the sodium potassium now. There we go. Right, now that shouldn't take up any space from this. Which is good. These aren't currently being used. I don't think they need to be used at the moment. I'd still like to, I think, wait until all this lot is done before we switch everything over, though. Which hopefully won't take too long. Still need to do the large gas turbine. This is what I'm really looking forward to, though. UHV power. And these as well, obviously. But we are still a little way off this. Ah, this is where we need the block of elts. Creative power is going to be nice. I do miss creative tanks, though. I really enjoyed that part once you, like, with Omnifactory. Well, once you got to the tank, you weren't by any means done, but so many of your material worries were over. Different TTRPG called Starfinder. You guys play your new character. Nice. Hopefully it's fun. Get your magic powers from chat. Interesting concept. I don't know that I even want to continue doing these. I think we probably should for the time being, but we don't, strictly speaking, need them. Given that we can get Europium dust now from Dollar Side. Ah, there we go. We're getting the actual energy hatches in now. Right, let's start switching stuff over. I have a feeling I'm going to have missed some things here. I really don't want to do this until everything's finished, though. I know we should be fine. We shouldn't need anything from here. So we just need to make sure we replace all of these casings. I am going to do them individually, just so I make sure I get everything done properly. I've already screwed that up. Really hope I actually made enough casings for this. The maths should have been right for it. Wasn't exactly difficult. We'll see, though. We'll find out soon enough. That should be everything for those. This likely won't form yet, because we haven't got the UV energy hatches in yet. Can get the first lot in. Hey, there we go. I don't know why I'm worrying about which way these are facing. Like, the only ones that matter are these ones. Are these the last ones we need to do on here? Okay, you still haven't formed. Why? Have I missed... Ah. There we go, that's better. Okay. So we just got to get the rest of these switched over, and then that should be our Mark III fusion reactor. Let's take those off there for now. Okay, that's all of those. Is there a way I can get the ME cable up to there without it looking awful? So we can actually attach these ones as well. Because it would be nice to be able to speed up the heating up portion of this a little bit. That'll hopefully speed the heating up a bit a little bit. Right. Let's see. If we just request, say, 8 buckets of tritanium. .8 seconds per, or, well, 1 tick per millibucket, basically, now. Which, how long would that take for Say we wanted to make 130 titanium coils. We are missing a ton of geranium. That's fine. That's easily fixed. 148,976 ticks. So 7,448 seconds, 124 minutes, about 2 hours that would take. So, yeah, that's still not great. The other thing we wanted to do was we're going to need to make another fusion coil. Where we're going to use the ZPM hatches for those, or at least half of them. I'm going to take it through a Stargate. Unfortunately not. No Stargates in this, unfortunately. I'll put you away for now. Okay, where did I miss? Alright. Oh, the thing we don't have is the hatches. Any playthrough touch the refined Naquita fuel? Do you mean the ones for the large Naquita reactor? Talking about those? That's the only refined Naquita I've seen. Superfuel hyperdegenerate matter stuff. I'm planning on making at least one of these for the playthrough. It's kind of what I'm working towards, roughly at the moment. What recipe am I using for the superconducting coils at the minute? Can I improve that one? It doesn't look like it's there. I can't see anything but the ones for the large Naquita reactor. Is that the final tier of these? It is. Okay, right. We've already got the best one on there then. And level 52 being today, 10 miles for 2 years of you riding this rocky habitat. Well, happy level up day, Zodo. I hope you have a fantastic one. Wait, no, it's not superconducting coil blocks I need, is it? What the hell is it I need? It's these. Right, outputs go on the tops, don't they? So if we get rid of those... Outputs go on the top, inputs go on the sides. Hey, quiet. The output buses. A lot of these are going to have to change anyway. Or the ones at the bottom are likely to change, at least. But remember that I don't have Vein Miner to get rid of this netherrack as well. Pretty sure that's right. Yeah. Come on, just give me my last one. There we go. Is that in the right place? Yeah. It might actually be worth putting UV hatches on this. You know what? I think I am going to do that. Should speed the tritanium up a little bit. I'll worry about the energy hatches in a minute then. Let's just stick these here for now. So we know where they go. And we've got something to build off. Have I got... No, it's not in the wrong place. I swear, these are one of the most confusing multi-blocks to build. think that's all of those. There should be 24 left over. Right, and then it's going to need to go on each of those. Glass on there, glass on there, glass on there. Am I a piece of glass missing somewhere? Don't think so. How many was it? 30 we needed. This is a fusion reactor. Oh, it's 31, and I'm pretty sure I had 31, so I'm a piece of glass missing somewhere. I'm sure I am. But I can't see it. It's cool, but it's also annoying as hell to build. There is the terminal I could use to auto-build it, but I prefer to have a little bit more control over it. So I know exactly where it's placing the hatches and everything. And I don't have to fly around and find where it's placed the ones I wanted to place in specific places. We're still one short. There we go. Okay, I didn't miss a piece of glass anywhere then. Okay. I wish there was a better way to hide the hatches on this. Rather than just rotate them inwards. They don't need to be hidden, it just looks a little bit nicer. Right, we're gonna need to... Right, what do we need for tritanium? Geranium, so we do need... Oh, I'm gonna need to speed up the geranium as well, aren't I? Card cloner. Guitar Lilin. Right, I'm gonna need to turn this off, because I want to upgrade this, because we're only making 16 millibuckets in 3.2 seconds. And we need that to match the speed of this for the tritanium. And if the tritanium is running at UV... We need 32 millibuckets of geranium in 0.8 seconds. So the geranium needs to be at 0. Shite. 0.3... sorry. 0.4 seconds. Which we can't do. So upgrading... Even with UV energy hatches, you can't... Can you not overclock these? Can you not overclock fusion reactors? Because these, even with UV energy hatches, not for power gen, no, it's for kind of basically fusing various resources into, I think, heavier elements. So tritanium and uranium into tritanium. So even with UV hatches in here, it's still telling us it can only run a ZPM. So 1.6 seconds. Which is not ideal, but that still means that we need this running every, not this, this running every 0.8 seconds. And at the minute, it's only 3.2. So I'm guessing even if I... Hang on, let me turn this off. Even if I put ZPM energy hatches in here, I think this will only run at LUV. Unless I overclock it. Unless I upgrade it to a Mark II. Which we can do. And I love the fact that if you've got more than one Mark I, if one of them's running, all of them look like they're running. Very weird. But I think all this will do is allow it to hold more heat. And possibly charge slightly faster. Which it shouldn't need to do since it's running passively anyway. So yeah, still max recipe tier LUV. But will this go any faster is the question. Nope, 3.2 seconds. Even with higher tier coils, it doesn't overclock. So the only way we can speed that up is if we turn it into a Mark III. That's the only way we're going to get that fast enough. To keep up with... The ore, the problem is the ore is not... The ore, if we get the ore, that takes up the microminer. We haven't got space right now to put another microminer. Also, if we want to run that microminer constantly... Like, we can get it at a reasonable amount, but if we want to run that constantly, we need to constantly be making all of this. The elite drilling kits are a pain in the ass. We can do them, but it's... I would rather not if we don't have to. Like, the whole point of this is we want this to be passive. Right? We want tritanium to be passive, so we have a constant supply of it coming in. If we're not doing the microminer missions passively, which I don't... If we need the tier 3 microminer, we can't do that at the moment. Like, this space is needed for other things, as is all the space down here, and I'm trying to keep everything together where possible. I love how everyone's got a solution, but no one's actually, you've never actually gone through this whole process yourself at this point, right? It is annoying, though, that these do not overclock. It just seems a little daft. And we also need... We have got a reasonable amount of geranium already. But the thing is, we need
I see. Running away, eh?
the geranium
You
for other
yellow
things as well.
bastard.
So we don't want to end up overusing it. Alright, no worries, quiet. It also kind of goes against the rules of the channel as well, Meat Weasel. Keep that in mind. I actually wish we could slow this down instead. That would be a whole lot easier. How much do we get? Like, if we say we request 1,024 of those, how much do we get from each mission? A 256 in 60 seconds. Actually, not too bad. I guess we could stock up on it, but that doesn't really help us in terms of... If you read the rules, you would know that. But nobody ever reads the fucking rules in channels. It's not just mine, it's everywhere. Nobody actually reads the fucking rules. They just click OK on them and then assume they're going to be fine. Pretty sure that is in the rules. Where are we? I know there's a way to show the rules, channel rules again. Can't for life remember where it is, though. There we go. Yeah. Fourth one down. No, it's all right. 99% of people, okay, 99% of people, a large amount of people do it, Meat Weasel. You've just got me on a very, very bad day today, that's all. Usually it wouldn't be that big of a deal, but like I say, today it's just a very, very bad day today. That's all. Right, what I want to be able to do is... And this is the other problem. If I talk through things in my head, like, people assume that I'm asking questions. Which is not their fault. It can quite easily sound like I am. But it's usually me just talking things through in my own head. It just helps me to do it out loud. Unfortunately, other people hear me asking questions of myself and assume it's a thing to say. This is me asking a question, and 9 times out of 10, it's not. It's not Chad's fault, really. I don't have a better way of vocalizing my thoughts without it sounding like a question. Like I say, it's not going to matter soon anyway. And honestly, at this point, that can't come soon enough. Right, one thing I do need to do, I think, is find a way of storing more than 16 of these, because it means we can only send 4 of those dollar site missions out at any given time. So what we need to do is switch out that storage bus for an interface. Why am I running so short on interfaces? Switch out that storage bus for an interface. And then we can put this to whatever we want it to be. It might just be a case at this point where we just have to make sure we stock up on geranium. There should be plenty anyway, honestly, but what I'd like to actually do, and again, this isn't a question, this is me talking through my process, is have a way of requesting that dollar-site ore when we drop below a certain amount of geranium dust. I'm not sure how to do that. Off the top of my head. So I'll have to have a think about that. Actually, so having these as UV is going to make no difference either, is it? So we may as well keep these as ZPM. If having higher tier coils in doesn't... It just increases the heat stored in it, as far as I can tell. Which doesn't do any good. That is not the right way for either of those. Let me just have a quick... Are we still doing that dollar site? Yeah, it's still going. Okay. Right, okay, so how are we going to do this? We're going to have to make geranium. We're going to have to passive liquid geranium as well as what we have. We'll keep that, the passive one running as well. I think I'm going to do these slightly differently. I'm just going to craft a bunch of these and hope that that's going to be enough. Right, so we're going to need... another extractor. How... That's not dollar sign, we need this geranium. Oh, this is the annoying thing with these, though. Oh, we can just melt the geranium ore. Never mind. Okay, that's fine. If we just run that with an EV on that should be fine. And if we look for titanium, that should be the same speed pretty much. I think, for melting. Oh no, it'll be a little faster, but that's fine. Okay, so if we do a couple of EV extractors, just going to have this set up slightly differently to where we've done other ones. No, I think I'm actually going to have them out to the side. I'd actually like to move those at some point, but not right now. Okay, so we're not going to store the liquid titanium anywhere except for here. And we currently have 43,000. I don't think we need to worry about stock limiting that either. We have a storage bus on there. Actually don't need that. Oh no, we do need that still. Still got to put an interface on there. And the only thing is, so I need to limit that, don't we? So we need robot arm. 32 buckets. That's going to be quite a lot of titanium. Maybe we do want to shut this off. We don't need to keep 32 buckets of titanium in there at any given time. So we use an emitter on there. And if we just keep, say, whenever there's over 8 buckets in there. I should keep melting that until it gets to 8 buckets, then should stop. Hopefully. Wait, what just finished? I was at the dollar sign. Right, we've got over 10,000 uranium now. That would give us... should give us over 5,000 tritanium. Which, thinking about it, really isn't all that much. There we go. Right, so that stays over that. And then we want this to stock titanium. There we go. And then on this side, we do the dollar sign. Now, the only thing with this side is I need to figure out a way that I can send out the micromine emission when we drop below a certain amount of uranium. So we need to send out a micromine emission on a red. We basically need to start a crafting recipe based on a redstone signal. So how can we do that? Can the... can these be redstone controlled? I don't believe so. Oh, we do need to turn that on again. Can these be redstone controlled? It would appear not. Trying to think if there's a way we can use crafting cards for it. We don't need this this mission running constantly. There's no point in it. Is there a way we can use a crafting card? I can't think of a way to do this. Off the top of my head, at least. Actually, we don't need the storage bus on this one since we've already got a storage cell for uranium. But basically, this only needs to run if we have below us, if we drop below a certain amount, just so we can keep ourselves over a certain amount of uranium. I guess we could arguably shut that off. What are we actually using to craft the uranium? Gallium and radon. Not exactly a problem using those. We've got 45,000 gallium dust still, and I think we are getting that in. We can get that in from micromine emissions. I really wish I could come up with a way of sending out a mission based on... This is the annoying thing, like, the requesters are great, except that you can only base them on whether it crafts on the output ingredient. Trying to think if there's a way around that, though. I think I might have an idea. Now, we get the uranium from process. The good thing about these missions as well is we get europium dust from them. If we do... If we send the... We want it to craft... We want it to send out the microminer mission when we drop below a certain amount of uranium, but we don't get the uranium back directly from the microminer mission. So what we need to do is... What we do get back from the microminer mission, output that to here. Once we get over a certain amount of this, stop outputting, and then that way we just say keep a certain amount of the dolomite ore in stock, and then it will only output. We'll have to do it into here instead. It will only output the dolomite ore when there is enough. When there is a need for the uranium. It's a bit of a convoluted way of doing this. But I think it should work. Not sure why I haven't got the floors removed underneath these. If we do that, the only thing is we're going to have to do this through the main ME system. And we've already got 2 different subnetworks in this area. We've got the subnetwork for the ores, and then the sub-subnetwork for what's going into there. So we need to make sure none of those connect in any way. Hey, Reese. Right, so if we base this on the amount of uranium we have, say we want to make sure we keep over 2048. I'll emit a redstone signal when it has over that amount. Then we need that. And we need that to be active with a redstone signal. And then if we say, where's the dolomite? We'll output that. That won't matter at the minute because we haven't got any dolomite in there. If we just output it in 32s. It won't process like super quickly, but that should be fine. And then if we do We'll change that in a second. And then if we use our request star, and just make sure that we always keep 64 of these in stock at any given time, that should send that microminer mission out. We'll get 256 back. If we drop below 2048 geranium, it will then start processing what we have in stock. It'll drop below that 64 and then request more. Although this is, sticking on 1 is fine, because it'll get 264 regardless. And then because this is turned off, it won't try and output this until it goes past a certain point. And then with that, we should be able to keep the geranium in stock if we need it. Which should be all we need to do here. And then we'll only... we still want to be using that for the most part, and we'll just use this to kind of substitute it when it starts running low. But if we say we keep this at 256 buckets, only start using this if we drop below 256 buckets. Hopefully that should work. That should be turned off. Say we set this to 512 for a minute. That should turn on, start smelting those. Now output to there, and then we'll change that back, because we don't need to keep a huge amount in stock. Okay, so if we do that, we just need to be able to turn this off at a certain time. And we need some storage for the tritanium. Right, so we need this between... If we try and keep... How much would 512 buckets of tritanium give us in terms of ingots? 3,500. So if we just keep this at 256 buckets and turn it on 192. So I'll limit redstone signal, and then that needs to be... You should be turned on. Why are you not... Oh, right, because I didn't actually set tritanium in there. There we go. Right, so let's do just a 16K fluid drive. We shouldn't need a 16K fluid drive, but you never know. Okay. So if we put geranium into here, that should start crafting us tritanium. And then should hopefully stop once it gets over 256 buckets. There we go. Right. Finally, we have passive tritanium. The next thing we need to start doing, I guess, is the Omnic Forge. This is going to take a while. This might be a... Once we start making the casings for this, this might be a we start the cases crafting and then I end the stream and we come back and hopefully have them tomorrow. Oh, right. There was one other thing I wanted to speed up before I... Ooh. The fact that we're down to 647 buckets of Gene gasoline is actually a little concerning. Why are you so low? Rocket fuel should be... Turning off 512 buckets. That's turned off now. You're set to shut off at 1,024 buckets. So what do you not have that you need? What are we short on here? So we've got the Dragon's Breath, chlorine trifluoride, and tetraethyl lead. High-octane gasoline, rocket fuel, and chlorine trifluoride. Chlorine trifluoride we had. Rocket fuel, high-octane gasoline. What do you not have? So you got rocket fuel, you got high-octane gasoline. It's not the... Oh, it's netherrack dust. Oh, did I never set that up again? I don't think I ever set that up to passive again. It was set up... Or was that the one that was set up in the nether? I might have been set up on the nether roof. Might have been just been directly doing it there. Nope. Okay, so that's just another thing I didn't set up again, and we've only just started running out. I'm glad I noticed that now rather than later. I should have storage for that already, right? Yeah. On supply, exactly. Right, that should start the Gene gasoline going again. I'm honestly surprised we've only just started running out of that. But I was... The reason I was actually checking on it was just so that I could... Oh god, that started getting laggy again over there. So I could speed up the Cryolobus passive. Because right now, we've only got trinium coils and it's only running at LUV. I don't want it to go too much higher than that, but... 90 seconds is a long time. So if we just up it to ZPM, I'm gonna... I might need to increase the speed that we get the warden tendrils as well. We're going to disconnect that, so this will turn off in a second. By a second, I mean about 90 seconds. Come on, you gotta be almost done. 10 seconds to go. Oh, right. Yeah, there's a good chance we're going to need to speed up the warden tendrils a little bit. But let's go and have a look at that now. Where do we need to be? Over here. Oh, we've already got 4 of them going. So wait, so how long would that take? The warden tendrils? So roughly 1 every 12.5 seconds. Oh, that should be fine. For the most part. That should be okay. Ooh. Oh shit, I've just realized that's going to constantly send that out, isn't it? That's a bit of a problem. Because that can't actually see, that's the thing. So this actually doesn't need to be on this channel. Shit. Yeah, I need to... Shit. I need to stop that. Wait, no. Oh, shit. No, it is... I think it is working fine. I just have this in there at the moment. That doesn't need to be in there now. Shit. Well, that's gone through... Well, at least we've got 15,000 uranium now. I think that can read how much we have in there. Oh yeah, it can, but yeah, I was just automatically outputting it into there, so yeah, that's... Oh, well, I'm glad I caught that then, rather than after we used up a shitload more resources. Why do we have no tritanium, though? I've lost my hole. Why do we have no tritanium? Excuse me? Why? What? I'm very confused. Where is that tritanium going? Oh, shit. I forgot to limit all the hatches. Oops. The titanium that we're crafting has ended up, because I forgot to, I was supposed to filter all these for, there it is, for just water. We know it's going into that one at the minute, so let's remember that so we can grab it from there later. I want to make sure I get rid of the rest of these first. But yeah, usually what I do is filter all of these outputs for water so that the output can only go into one specific place. I forgot to do it on these because I fucking suck. And all of the titanium has gone into there instead. Please tell me I can... Of course I can't pick it up in those, can I? It's not gone anywhere. We still have all of the titanium. We've not lost anything. Right, let's... Oh, come on! It's because it's going too quickly, and I don't want to shut it off, because if I shut it off, depending on how long this takes, it should be fine, but... It does lose heat. There we go. Now it's going in the right place. That's better. That's more like it. I'm going to be honest, guys. At this rate, I don't think I'm going to be finishing the pack before I end streams. And leave Twitch. Right, Omnic Matrix casings. Hey, Luciella, how you doing? Right, this does not need a circuit. See how long it takes to make 2 of these. I'm assuming these are probably going to need titanium in some capacity. Oh, maybe not. Maybe not. They do need uranium, rhodium, dinaquidide, but... That's fine, I think. And they do need crystal matrix ingots. Those are another big problem at the minute. Which, I'm not sure what the slowest part of the crystal matrix ingots is. I'm not sure what the bit that's slowing us down is with that. It's possibly the compressor. Could we upgrade that to a ZPM compressor? Or, I guess we do just buy the bullet and actually make a multi-block compressor. I think it's about time we did that. There's only, like, 2 recipes we use for it, but... I think it might be time to actually bite the bullet and do that. So it's large material press. How much space do we need for that? 3 by 7 by the looks of it. guess we could fit it down. I don't really want to put it down here, though. It's going to make building and making it look nice awkward later. What are we using this one for? Forming press. I can't imagine there's going to be a situation where we're going to need another forming press. So we could just put it above this one. But there's a chance we might need a second bender, depending on how... Probably not, though. We could probably put it on top of either of these, but I think I'd rather put it on top of here. Alright, what else do we need? Which left? Keep in mind that I move. Two red cables, one green. Whereabouts are we talking? There's lots of red and green cables. Oh, these. Oh, no, these are circuit assemblers. We always end up needing lots of circuits, so I tend to make a lot of them. Right, we need... the game to stop lagging like crazy? If this crashes, I'm ending the stream. It's not responding. There we go. All right. Right. 50 stress-proof casings and 3 is that steel gearboxes. Let's make a few extras. I'm not having a good day. I knew before I started the stream that today was going to go badly. I'll use one of those, I guess, for the time being. And we've now got 16 UV energy hatches spare as well, which is good. All right, so... Yeah, sorry for the way that my mood today, everybody. Things just as on the whole are not going well at the moment. Hence me leaving Twitch once we finish Monifactory, if I make it that far. I'm actually not going to use that 64X one there because... Honestly, I think just the 4 times one will be fine. We haven't got much going on in here at the moment. If we need to upgrade that later, we can. But... me having a bad time, though, is not an excuse for a shitty attitude, so I do apologize. Right, we need an input bus. And an ME output bus. Let's go in there. That goes in there. Okay. Don't want to do that on blocking mode, do I? Okay. Actually, let's just make 16 crystal matrix ingots and see how long this takes. And see what else, if anything, is slowing this down. So, the grown nanotube substrates potentially somewhat slow. That should be fine. Do I have a UV hatch on that arc furnace? Oh no, I've only got an LUV hatch. Okay, no wonder that's slow. Okay, that can be sped up. I do need to be somewhat careful with power still. Actually, now, the more that I think about this, I actually really like the... At least with multi-blocks, being able to... Like, the recipe doesn't pause if you turn it off. It continues running till the end of that recipe. Because it means that you can kind of pause it, and then after the recipe's finished, you can then kind of do any upgrades to it without worrying about losing materials by breaking the multi-block in the middle of a recipe. But yeah, I can see the confusion from behind. It's understandable, especially if you've never used them before. They could be, well, they could be pretty much anything at that point. And the dense matrix mesh takes a while as well. That is done in the compressor. Oh, that's still taking a while, apparently, even at UV. Yeah, it's still going to be 1.5 seconds. I did change the... Yeah, I did change the parallel hash, didn't I? Right, so what's taking the time of this bit? The dense matrix mesh, which... Oh, did I not give it power? I thought I gave it power. I did. Oh, what I didn't do is change the mode. There we go. So 4 in 3 seconds. That's not too bad. That could be worse. We're not going to get to the Omnic Forge today, as by the looks of things, chat. Right, and the crystal matrix ingots themselves, we can't really speed up much at this point. Been 12 in 50 seconds. We've already got that running at UHV. I do really need to start being mindful of the amount of power we use. We're getting to that point again where we're kind of on the cusp of the next power generation. But it may still be worthwhile making a few more of the Naquadah reactors in the meantime. It shouldn't be too expensive to make at this point. No, it should be fine. Fusion glass is relatively cheap. Trinium coils are cheap. Yeah, they're actually incredibly cheap and easy to make. So if we need to make more of these, and I think we can run up to like roughly double what we've got at the moment, given how much Naquadria we're making. Okay, so those finished. Right, let's do the recipe for this. Still going to take a little while to go through, but hopefully not too long. I'm pretty sure everything we've got there we're able to do. Yeah, it's definitely a huge upgrade. Going from like generally the large extreme reactors, which are what 1 amp of IV, I think, up to 3 amps of ZPM per generator. Definitely a nice upgrade. And then going from those to even just a single large Naquadah reactor is going to be huge as well. Since the large Naquadah reactor produces 64 amps of UV. So that, combined with what we've already got, is going to mean that we should be okay power-wise. Even though that's only 16 amps of UHV and 4 amps of UEV. So we might need a couple of them to get us through to here, because these are UIV. Once we've got that, we can basically make as many infinite energy sources as we want. But that's still a little ways off. Right, Omnic Forge. What are you missing? Double neutronium plates. How much neutronium do we have left? 60. We're probably going to have to get more neutronium. But that should be fine. Wait, neutronium, what microminer do we need for the are we using for the neutronium? Oh, at the minute we're using that one. Oh, that should still be fine. Go to 32. That's still a better way of doing it, I think. I forgot I changed that over, because we don't even need a stabilized miner for that one. Which is good. Right, Omnic Forge. That is probably going to take forever. Although that tritanium is going down a lot quicker. Okay, maybe not a lot. It did initially, but that's just gone through all the tritanium we had built up. Still needs to go through the rest, but that's okay. Even that should be a lot quicker now. Where is fusion? There it is. That should be a whole lot quicker now that we got the tier 3s. So I can now run at 16 ticks. As opposed to that, which is taking 1.6 seconds. So half the time in those ones. Do I think it's worth it to connect a data bank to all the assembly line passive ones, or should you make a data orb for each? If they're only making a single item, just use a data access hatch. It's probably the way I'd do it. Although I've not actually bothered passiving anything in the assembly lines yet. Basically, there are certain items that you need to research before and have that research available before they'll craft. And initially, you'll have one of these data access hatches on your assembly line, and that will hold all the patterns. And then, so long as the research is available in that data access hatch, the assembly line will be able to make that item. If the research isn't available, it'll put the items in, but nothing will happen. And the data bank basically just holds all of your items, all of your kind of your data items, and then you use the optical cables to connect it to as many assembly lines as you need to or as you can. You do have to have one transmission hatch per thing then. Does the research decrease? You only need to do the research once. Yeah, you do it once and then it's available. Obviously, you still have to craft the item each time, but you only have to do the research once. Or once per... Well, actually, no, you only have to do it once, because once you've got one of them, you can duplicate these, I believe. I think you can duplicate them with... At least you could in the scanner with the data things. Honestly, if it's just creating one item or even a couple of items, I just use a data access hatch. It saves you having to run the cables everywhere. It wouldn't be so bad if the cables could connect and like you could just kind of connect them in a line like that and do one cable that connects everything. But since you have to have a different cable for each of them, it just becomes a pain in the ass. So yeah, if it's just one item, I just put a data access hatch in the assembly line itself. You know what? This might not take too long. The tritanium is still going to take a little while, but I think it's fine. I've tried to keep things as neat as, but that's one of the reasons why I don't end up making a lot of the multi-blocks I make, because I want to keep things neat, because like the intention, at least the intention at the moment, is to finish off the base once I've finished the pack. And that's going to involve making sure everything's neat and tidy and all the actual structures and everything's built. So making sure everything's in the right places to begin with, which there are some things at the minute that aren't. Like this. This needs to be flipped around and facing the other way, and these need to be moved over to there. That's why nothing's been put in this area so far.
You yellow bastard!
All right, you have a great day as well, Zodo, and happy birthday again. Happy level up day. Hopefully you have an amazing one. But yeah, a large part of the reason for me not doing a lot of things is A, because I know I'm going to need the space for other things later. And B, I want to make sure I have things in a neat and tidy way, because that's gonna matter when I finally finish this thing. Yeah, we're still going to be waiting a while for the tritanium, but it's getting there. It is still going in here, right? Yeah. But this is where not having this on a server is going to start becoming a problem, because that tritanium is only going to build up while we have the world open. Like anything that we're passively crafting will only work while we've got it open. Right, I do need 72 more fusion glass. I need a bunch more stuff, actually. We need 36 Cryolobus frames. Those should be relatively easy. I've already forgotten how many we needed. 36. I don't even know where we're going to put the Omnic forge, honestly. Possibly down near where we've got the supercomputer. But yeah, I think we'll end up actually putting the Omnic forge together tomorrow, because I am gonna we still need 130 3 of these Omnic matrix casings. That's what's going to take the time. So we need 133 of those, which we can't do anyway because we haven't got enough iron chloride. Or liquid europium, but that we can fix easily. And the polyphenylene sulfide sheets, we are not passiving enough of those yet. Hey, Jess. How you doing? So we just need to up this to... Why am I even shutting this off? We're sure that's 2048. That should be fine. And europium... We should be able to do a recipe for this, because we should have a bunch of europium dust as well. Which hopefully we can just smelt that directly. But of course we can't. Why would we be able to? Big sleepy at this point, but you're good? I can relate. Okay, that europium's going to be a bit of an issue. The only thing we're using the liquid europium for at the... This is really frustrating, because the only thing we're using the liquid europium for at the moment is we're basically... we are using it for that as well, but we also need to turn it into ingots. But the only thing is we need... We have europium dust as well that we can turn into ingots, but we also need the europium dust for other things. We have got 10,000 of it, though, so if I set something up for passively generating the europium from the europium dust, I think we should be okay. Because at the minute, the europium is not going overly quickly either. It's only like 3.2 seconds. Unless we upgrade the fusion reactors to Mark IIs, we can't do anything about that. But we have the liquid europium crafting recipe. Like, we're using liquid europium to turn into ingots. I don't know if we've got a way, because we can just, I believe, yeah, we can blast furnace. Oh, actually, if we can put them in a blast furnace, that actually makes that a whole lot easier. I thought we just had to smelt them. So if we passive those in here, we've got plenty of trinium coils. How is GTNH going, Jess? Helium should be... I think we're going to be fine for helium. What do we need power-wise? Just IV? Oh, that's actually really not going to be too bad at all. If we just put that as a like an LUV one. That should be fine, provided we have an LUV energy hatch. Just a regular LUV energy hatch? Yes, we do. Perfect. Okay, so you can go there. Got heat-proof casings. We need a muffler hatch. We need a stocking hatch. And we need... What else do I need? Maintenance hatch. But this is definitely going to be something that we have to do overnight. Well, between streams at least. All right. Oh, wait, no, we don't need the stocking hatch there. We need the stocking bus. We've already got the stocking hatch in the middle. Why have we got 3 stocking buses? I have no idea. So if we go... It's helium gas it needed, right? Not liquid helium or anything daft like that? Yes. Now, I kind of would like to potentially shut this off in a few different situations. I really wish we could shut these off. Actually, you know what? I think this might actually be a better suited to using a threshold bus. And just like a ULV input hatch. How have I not got ULV input hatches craftable? Wait, no, I should have. It needs to be an input bus, doesn't it? I have got ULV ones craftable because we have them in the assembly lines. And at least this way, if we do it this way, if we place it on the right side, we can at least make sure that we always have some europium left over. So if we say we want to keep 2048 of that, because we still need it for the dust for various other things. So that's circuit 2. Give it a couple of acceleration cards. Already got the Pitts Pier on there. Shouldn't even need a couple of acceleration cards, honestly, but we're doing this at LUV. Oh, we also need to make sure we got the shut off on this side as well, don't we? We still need an emitter and machine controller. You can go on there. And we don't need to keep many of these. There's the Omnic Forge. That's the first part. Europium, we don't need to keep many of these. If we just say 256 should be enough. And then the thing is, we're going to be turning some of these straight back into liquid europium as well. Wait, hang on. For these, is it... It's not the liquid europium I need for those anyway, is it? So if we just actually keep this at 1024, that would be better, I think. Alright. And we're out of monitors. Okay, we have an Omnic Forge, however. Can I craft one europium ingot, please? So I can put this as an item on there. There we go. Right. We can probably also set it up so that Dolosite mission gets sent out if we run low on europium as well. So now, the liquid europium we have should only really be needed as a way of kind of bolstering what we already have. And also, obviously, for making crystal chips. I am also going to put a recipe for europium in the rotary hearth furnace as well. Because we're not going to be finishing the europium as quickly as we need it. Right, what were we still missing for these? So 133 of them. Right, we're just missing the iron chloride. Where was I doing the iron chloride? I'm guessing it's down in the passive area down here. But where? What even is this making? Oh, that's for the dilithium. Okay. Where am I doing iron 3 chloride? It's got to be down here or somewhere, right? So I remember complaining about having to make iron chloride in the first place. But it's not in any of these places. That's styrene butadiene rubber. That's soldering alloy. Where the fucking hell did I put it? Does anyone know where I made my iron chloride? I've lost it. Did I do it up here? How do we even make iron chloride? It's in a chemical reactor. Oh, I'm doing it over here, aren't I? So if we just up that to 1024 buckets, that should be fine. Going to use most of it, but it will replenish it pretty much straight away. Right. 133 Omnic casings, right? This is going to take about 6 years to complete, but still need the fucking iron chloride. What do we even need that for? Oh, I am only running at EV as well, so if we at least maybe upgrade it to LUV. Speed that up just a little bit more. And by a little bit, I mean 16 times the speed. I do love the fact that these do subtick parallelization of recipes. It's so nice. There we go. Right, now we can do everything. What do we actually need to craft? 12,000 enderium wire. That's going to be fun. 12,000 fine europium wire. Ouch. That's a lot of europium wire. Holy shit. Right, well, let's start that going. Ah, of course, that's got an issue because of passiving of enderium. But that is crafting. And it's going to take a fucking while. How much trinium do I have left after? Holy shit, that's gone through all of my trinium. God damn it. Okay, that's fine. That'll build up again. I haven't... I need to revisit the Naquita line at some point to speed that up. Because right now we're only making 1 trinium ingot every... Wait, how much trinium did we need for that? Hang on, let's just... Where do we need the trinium? Yeah, we need 11,000 trinium foil. Holy shit. Yeah, we need to speed things up a little bit. We've still got 14,000 trinium dust left, so we're fine for trinium, but... That is a lot. And this is going to take forever, so this might be the end of the stream. Because this ain't getting done today. I will guarantee that. We do need to revisit the Naquita line soon, though. Like, there's not much we need to do with this. Like, mostly it's just going to be switching over the machines. Should be easy enough. But yeah, we'll have to finish the Omnic Forge, I guess, tomorrow. Anything on here that looks like it's drastically dropped? We have dropped quite a bit of iridium. We had considerably more than 21k before. I think we had about 28k before, but not as much as I thought it would be. I think everything else is fine, though. Like all the things that we were worried about before, at least. I think things like the memory chips are going to take a while. Are probably going to be one of the biggest things that take a while. Oh, can I... I want to switch over the hatch here to a 64X1. Although I don't think that's going to make a difference because there's not many situations where we're having 64 items in there to do that. But I also don't want to shut this off in the middle of a recipe. So if I disconnect this for a minute, would it cause any problems? And also, why are these not going through? Sorry, there's not. I don't. I think if I disconnect that, it's gonna void some of the items. Oh man, the uranium rhodium dinaquidide is gonna take forever as well. 1072 uranium rhodium dinaquidide. We can cool 4 of those in 10 seconds. So 2.5 seconds each. That's 44 minutes just for those alone. That's a lot of waiting. Alright, that's fine. This is endgame. We do not expect it to be quick. And the Cryolobus. It is doing 55 Cryolobus ingots, but that's still quite a while. How am I doing for Warden tendrils now? Oh, we've still got 10k. We're fine. I was a little concerned about that, but... What are you processing? Nothing now. What were you processing? No idea. Anyway, I think that's it for the day. There's really not much more we can do. It's literally like most of the machines that we will be using will be taken up making this. I have a feeling this is probably going to take the rest of the evening for me, as it is. This is where a server would have been so handy. I also cannot shut this down in between, so if I have any power cuts or anything, I'm going to end up losing a shitload of resources. So hopefully no power cuts. But hopefully by tomorrow as well, we should be in a position to make the Omnic Forge. We'll still have a few things left to craft. The block of crystal matrix shouldn't take long, nor should the fusion glass. The Skulk superconductor. It shouldn't take too long. I don't think. Anyway, I hope. We'll see. But yeah, we have a long way to wait. I'm actually thinking I might cancel this now because one of the things that's going to take forever is going to be those memory chips. So I think I need to get those. Yeah, if I cancel this now, we shouldn't lose anything. Certain things will continue to process, which is actually a bit of a potential problem because this is, oh no, that's not got anything else in it at the minute, has it? Not making any tritanium or anything like that. That's good. Okay, so let's do a few upgrades here before we go. Not there. Not there. Where's the multi-blocks? Processing. Should be down there. That is still processing memory wafers. I'm not sure which one those are in. I'm going to go ahead and guess that. We don't need those in there at the moment. Anything else that's still processing here? I'll take those out of there. Because I will make another ultimate parallel hatch for these as well. So that we can run up to 64 in here as well. I'm assuming that is still going to be for the parallel, for making the parallel hatch. I'm going to shut that off and switch this one over now. Wait, no, we don't. We want that one to be the 250, this one to be the 256 one. Oh, we've only got one 256 hatch. Wait, we only had a 4x hatch on that to begin with. Holy shit. We actually want... Oh no, it is another 64 times one we're doing. I don't think there's much point in doing more than 64 times on these. I don't think we're going to be in too many situations where we'll need those hatches, but we'll see. We need to make sure they will run at least 64 at a time, though. So we just got to wait on that. Oh, wait. I've just had another thought as well. Where am I? I'm on the opposite side to where I need to be. These are going to be backed up. Yeah. Had a feeling. Four seconds for 6 trinium ingots. What are you taking the time doing? You're also doing europium. Okay, maybe we're gonna take it's gonna take a while for this because most of the europium is done already, and these aren't doing any more than 64 recipes at a time. So Wait, oh, wait, did I never upgrade this one to UHV? I never did. Okay, well, let's fix that. Let's turn that off. I want to stop anything importing into here for now. If I remove that for a moment, I want to put this slot back into here. It's a very awkward way of doing this, but I don't want to end up losing anything from upgrading this, which we will do if it continues to run. So if we do that, that's all going to go into the other one for now, but that's okay. We'll let that finish. I just realized that why that didn't upgrade. Even though I knew I'd put the hatches in there. Because the other one was actually a 4 PM hatch, not a UV one. So it was probably doing kind of running recipes at the right speed. Just not... There we go. Right. That should be, hopefully... It's going to be exactly the same, isn't it? Oh, well, that's fine. Actually, those can stay in there. That's fine. Right, I guess I'm just going to have to leave this stuff to finish, and then I will upgrade stuff later. We need the Naquita alloy and the samarium to be done, though. Which... Why are they not being? I definitely didn't see Naquita alloy in here. Or in here. So, what's happened there? Are they just waiting to be done in this? That's still going through the trinium. Which I... Ah, that explains it. Right, let me get rid of some of this trinium for now. And then we just got to wait for that to go through. Anyway, I'm going to call it there. I'm going to finish doing this off stream. We'll hopefully have all of the casings ready for tomorrow. Then we can get the Omnic forge going and start working on the Omnic coils. That will be the plan for tomorrow. But anyway, thank you everyone for being here. Thank you, Zidic, for the raid. I will see you all soon. Just take care of yourselves.